It's Monday, 11:30. Annie's at home. She's recovering from her bonding session over the weekend. We went to the other side of Samal yesterday, or Saturday shall we say, and I dropped off with some friends. They were bonding. Today we're talking about buying property in the province. Now, as I said, I was over in Samal with Annie, and I stopped on the way because it was quite a long way to go, and I posted a vlog on it yesterday. Now, what I found strange, and I did find this strange, maybe it's my ignorance, maybe it's me being stupid, but people are buying land on Samal. Great. 5 years ago or 10 years ago, you could get 500 square meters for about 200,000 peso, 250,000 peso. Today, 5,000 square meters of land will cost you nearly $1 million peso. Yeah, you heard it right. That's on Marketplace. Don't take my word for it. Go and have a look on Marketplace. You can buy land for about 35,000 peso, and it used to be 35,000 peso or 45,000 peso for 100 square meters. But if you look at the adverts now, they're 35 to 45,000 pesos for 80 square meters. They've taken 20 square meters off the top end of the size of the land. So you're buying a postage stamp on Samal. 80 square meters, that's about the size of a normal house with no garden, and you just build straight up, which I found a little bit disturbing really when I was listening to that yesterday, because I stopped by one of these white van things on the road, and I was talking to the girl, and she turned around and she was quite open about it. She didn't want me to vlog, so I didn't vlog. She was selling land with an overview. Now, an overview means it's on the top of a hill. Yeah, it's up there somewhere. It's in the clouds. But she's selling something that is for today. In 5 years' time, there could be a whole resort built around your house. Yeah, so point one, what you're buying today needs to be future-proof for the next 10 to 20 to 30 years. Otherwise, you could end up buying 80 square meters or 100 square meters of land for 45,000 peso. No electricity there, no water there, with an overview. However, the people around you might be buying that land for their children. And they start building these little wooden shacks around your house. And yesterday I saw quite a bit of that. I saw this house on the side of the coast yesterday, and I would estimate it was 100 million peso. Yeah, it was big. I would say maybe 1,200 square meters of land right on the beach. The beach wasn't a sandy beach, it was a rocky beach, but the road was behind it. But opposite it, on the side of the road, was the barangay town, and the most modern building there was the barangay hall. The rest of the houses were all made up of corrugated iron, wood, and stuff like that. Now, I'm not disrespecting that, guys. That's what I'm turning around and giving you the information on. If you're going to put million peso down, you're going to put $18,000, $19,000 down on a piece of land, and you plan to build on it. Now, I went to this place down the bottom of Samal Island. It took me 2.5 hours to get there. The roads are good. Don't get me wrong, they're good, but there are some little areas that are not so good. However, they will improve in time. That's the roads. So getting to and from your property or your land or your expectation or your vision The views look great over the Pacific. I was blown away. Really, really nice. Yeah. But when we were at this little resort, they were turning around and talking to me and Annie, that, you know, because we were asking about this stuff, and they would turn around and saying, oh, they get problems with water outage. Sometimes it trickles through very, very slowly, and then sometimes they don't have water to use in the CR or the bathroom, so they use the seawater. Yeah, that's okay. But then the question I'm raising, because Annie's ill, what water do they use to wash their vegetables and their fish and their chicken in? Is that river water? Is that water that comes along the side of the road, runoff water? So there is this, where do you get your water from? Do you ship your water in to your abode? Because you cannot pipe the water from Plata or Babac. If you're out in the provinces, and this is not on Samal, this is going out to Kalinan and Buddha and Bukignon, Mati, going out to all these areas, and you're going out in the provinces, they all have the same problem. Getting clean, fresh water is difficult. Now, there was a girl there yesterday, she had a rice cooker. Normally it takes around 8 to 12 minutes to cook rice. 51 minutes it would turn around and took her to cook rice, 6 cups of rice. There was 15 people in the party, so 4 cooks was nearly 2 hours. 4 cooks was nearly 2 hours, yeah, because it was 50 for the first one, then they turned around and chucked in the rice for the second one, then it was another about 35 this time, because what they were turning around and telling us is power goes up and it goes down, it goes up and it goes down. But when they first plugged in the rice cooker, it took a very long time to cook the first batch. The second batch, the power was I don't know whether they were regulating the power somewhere there along the coastal road. So people were drawing off more power, so they gave more power to that area. But you get these brownouts, great. We all get them everywhere. But when your power and your electricity fluctuates down, so it becomes very difficult to run electrical appliances, now I understand why people in the provinces don't have electrical appliances. They rely on having charcoal, or they have coconut fires that turn around and boil pots. So I found that interesting yesterday, really interesting, because it's not just where I was yesterday. Great views on the beach, stunning. It's going to happen if you're in the mountains, it's going to happen if you're off the beaten track. You know, this place is only 2 hours from Davao City. You know, I think it's the 3rd largest city in the Philippines, but it's the world's largest city by landmass. And it still can't deliver to Samal. And people turn around and say, well, Samal's an island. Mindanao's an island as well. There are 7,000 islands in the Philippines. Yeah? So, Samal is a small island, Mindanao is a bigger island, but it still becomes difficult to get that infrastructure in place. Now, the other thing I found interesting was also that registration of the lands, when you get your title deeds, rights only is one thing that somebody was talking to me about yesterday, which means you don't own the land. Yeah, you don't own it. You just have, somebody's giving you the right to live on it. So whatever you build becomes theirs if it's made out of concrete. Because when the rights finish, you're finished. You need to move on. And if you've got a concrete house, so majority of rights only, and there was about 8 or 9 properties on Marketplace and on Lamuda, and it quite clearly says rights only. You don't own the land. So don't get fooled into that one, okay? And don't get fooled into the other one where people turn around and say, well, lots of places are like that. Yeah, there are. And the reason there's lots of places because somebody is making money out of you, but they're still retaining the land. That's like selling a diamond ring with rights only. You can wear it, but you don't own the diamond. Get that in your head, guys. Don't get fooled by the sun and the blue skies. Rights only, don't go down that route. But there was 2 people I was talking to yesterday had actually purchased rights only property on samal. Yeah? And they go, it runs for 10 years and then you have to renew the rights. Okay, so you need to rebuy the rights, and if the price has gone up from 10,000 peso to 200,000 peso, you have to buy. So don't get drawn into the rights only. Make sure you have title on the property. Mother title, clean title, that's what you need. And it can take up to 2 years to process that through the government offices here. Yeah, you might get surveyed and it might be, this is the plot of land, but it's not a fast process. Yeah, it's not a fast process. But you're still liable for taxes on that land if you own it. So don't go down the rights only route. First time I heard about it yesterday, and I was quite intrigued to listen to somebody that would, but it's not leasehold. Don't get me wrong, it's not leasehold. It's rights only. You can use it. Yeah. Now the other one I found, I was looking at yesterday, and I found it quite amusing. People are selling land, and they turn around and saying 75 meters of beachfront property, and they're making it sound as though you're buying the beach. In the Philippines, all beaches are free for people to go and use. Yeah, unless it becomes difficult to access it, like it's in a cove and somebody buys the whole cove and the mountains, and that restricts your access. But it doesn't stop you landing on the beach in your bunker, because beaches in the Philippines are free. Yeah. So at weekends the beaches get busy because people want to go away, and that's not just Samal or in Mindanao, that's across the whole of the Philippines. Beaches have free access, and people were telling me yesterday, because I was talking to them, well, it has beach access. Yeah, but you get beach access anyway. Why are you turning around and telling somebody this plot of land, which is 200 meters from the beach, you have free beach access? It's a selling point that isn't a selling point. They'll add thousands onto that land to turn around and get you to buy it because you got beach access.